Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Natasha really wasn't a naughty girl. She was actually full of vitality and a love for life. But she just couldn't understand why she had to wait for things. Babushka! Natasha yelled, because in Russian, babushka means grandmother. Babushka! Come and push me on the swing. Babushka said, Darling, I have to finish this laundry first. But Babushka, I want to swing now. My precious, give me just a little time to finish this laundry. No, Babushka, now. Sweetheart, I have to finish this laundry while the sun is shining. But Babushka, the sun will be shining all day long. I want to swing now. Finally, Babushka finishes the laundry and she takes Natasha over to the swings. Yay! Higher! Push me higher! Babushka! Don't stop! Don't stop! They had tons of fun on the swings together. And then Natasha wanted to ride the goat cart. Babushka, I want to pull the goat cart. Ride me in it now. Pull me in it now. Babushka said, Oh, darling, first I have to feed the goats. The goats need their food. But Babushka, I'm hungry too. My tummy's making noises. Feed me something to eat now. Babushka, don't be so selfish, my precious. These poor creatures can't feed themselves. They can't make their own lunch. Finally, after what seemed to Natasha like forever, Babushka finished with the goats. Okay, my precious, I'm done with those chores. We'll have our lunch now. And she took Natasha inside and reached up on a high shelf and pulled down a kettle. As Natasha looked at the shelf where the kettle had been, she noticed a little doll that she had never seen before. Is that your doll, Babushka? Yes, that was my doll when I was a little girl. Did you play with it all the time? No, my dear. I only played with her once. Only once. Babushka made the soup and put it on the table for Natasha, and she enjoyed her soup and her bread and had a delightful time. Babushka, I want to play with your dolly. May I play with her just for a little while, please? Babushka thought for a minute and thought, this might be the perfect time for you to play with her. I'm going to the store to buy some groceries, and you may play with her until I get back. Oh, thank you, Babushka. I'll take good care of her, I promise. As soon as the door closed behind Babushka, something happened. The little doll came to life. She sprang to her feet and twirled around with her arms extended, and Natasha didn't know what to think at first. What would you think if a doll came to life? She wanted to be frightened, but the doll said, Come on, Natasha, let's go out and play! And so they ran out the door. Babushka's doll ran ahead of Natasha all the way down the hill, and Natasha ran as fast as she could to keep up until she just got so tired she had to stop. And when she finally stopped and tried to catch her breath, the doll said, Come on, Tasha, don't stop, keep playing, let's play! She ran after the doll a little bit more, and the doll noticed the swing hanging from the tree and said, I want to swing. Push me in the swing, Natasha. They went over to the swing, and the doll sat in and gripped the chains, and Natasha pulled her back and pushed her as high as she could go, just the way she wanted to be pushed. Yay, the doll said. Don't stop, Natasha. Push me higher, push me higher. Natasha said, I'm getting tired. Don't you stop. Do you hear me? You push me high, and you ride me in this swing as long as I want. Do you hear me? Then the little doll saw the goat cart off to the side and said, I want to ride in that. Take me over there. So they ran over to the goat cart. The little doll hopped onto the back, and Natasha picked up its tongue and started to drag it around and lead it across the property. Yay! The doll screamed, this is fun! You get to do this all the time? You must be the luckiest girl in the world. Don't stop now. You push me as long as I want to ride, okay? Finally, Natasha got so tired she just couldn't lead that goat cart any longer. She collapsed on the ground, and the little doll said, what's the matter? We're having fun. You get up, Natasha. Let's go do something else to play. Natasha said, but I'm tired. I have to catch my breath. I can't run anymore. I can't push anymore. I can't pull anymore. I have to rest. The doll said, okay, I'm hungry anyway. You fix me something to eat. So they went inside and found some of the leftovers of the soup and the lunch that Babushka and Natasha had been enjoying before. Natasha wasn't used to fixing lunch by herself as a little girl, but she did her very best to bring the soup to the table and set it in front of Babushka's doll. She did, and Babushka's doll started to make a terrific mess. She sloshed the soup out of her spoon. She spilled her drink, and she pounded her fist in the mess. She flung noodles over her head and just laughed and laughed and laughed. Natasha was looking at the mess that was being made, wondering how she would clean all of that up before her babushka arrived home, when all of a sudden the doll stopped laughing and began to scream. My dress! Look at how dirty my dress is! Tasha, wash it for me! It was a tough job for Tasha to get the scrubbing pan and the wash tub and get the dress clean, but she cleaned it and she ironed it and she put it back on the doll. You didn't do it right! My dress is all wrinkled! Tasha just began to sob and weep and say, I'm just a little girl, and I wish you were just a doll. My child, why are you crying? A voice softly called out behind her. She turned around and saw Babushka and said, Babushka, while you were gone, your little doll came to life, and she was very naughty. She made me push her in the swing and pull her in the goat cart and fix her lunch, and she made a colossal mess, and she made me iron her dress, and I don't even know how. I'm just a little girl. There, Tasha. You must have just had a bad dream. A bad dream? Maybe. As Babushka turned around to look at the little doll, it was all crumpled on the floor. She went over to pick it up, and she lifted it up and put it on its shelf. As she did, she said to the little doll, sounds like you had a very good day. The doll gave her a wink and went back to her home. She was only played with once. And Natasha turned out to be quite a lovely child after all. Mr. Toastmaster.